Hello and welcome again to another edition of our Down and Dirty Mini Movies. This is video number 30 in our short film help series where I just try to bring you short demonstrations, videos of the TopCon product portfolio. Today we're going to be covering angles in topo screen, measuring them direct and reverse, and also the difference if you set up a set collection. Now you may have heard or used terminology of doubling angles, wrapping angles, or even accumulating angles. In magnet field it's just called set collection, and we'll be covering that. I'm going to be using an FC5000 with version 7, and we're going to be covering, like I say, in topo screen, the direct and reverse. Then we'll jump over and look at our classes to do the set collection routine. Now this is just a demonstration. It's not meant to be true training. Professional service is responsible for all the training material, and they do a great job. You can find that information on TopCon e-learning portal, and also check out the resources on the My TopCon Now app. So out in the field, I've got the data collector set up. I'm hooked up to a GT robot, and first off, just to look at our survey, I'm just using a GT 1003 Bluetooth, no RC. I have 2 points in the data collector, and we'll just go under survey at this time and then to topo. Like I said, I've already got the back sight set up at this time, and I could change this to traverse or side shot, but I'm not going to do that. Let's go up to the very top here under your settings beside the EDM icon and change our measurement mode to direct and reverse. And since we're using a robot, let's change our search and turn to search and aim. Since it is a stationary point, we're just aiming at it, and auto accept, and we'll even measure reverse distances. Now as the tolerances, I'm going to bump this up just a little higher than what the angle accuracy of the instrument is, just so it will pass with these short back sights. And I'll change my back sight prism to a minus 30 millimeter and click next. My distance looks good, so we'll hit OK. So in this particular demonstration, I'm turning the instrument just manually. I'm standing here by the instrument, and I'm going to point it at the prism and hit the aim button at the top. And once it settles in and locks onto that prism, we'll measure this in precise mode. And once it has this information, it's going to measure that distance. Then it's going to invert the scope, and if you look at the vertical angle here, change from 88 degrees to 271 when it does the inverse, and measure that. And now you can see the results, and if everything looks good, everything's within about 4 seconds, I can just hit accept and store this particular point at this time. Now that's pretty quick for just direct and reverse, and you can do that in the topo screen. But for multiple angle sets, we're going to be doing set collection. Now one of the first things you need to do is go into your configuration and come down to classes. And these are default that's loaded of classes and different techniques of direct and reverse that you can see here. Here I'm just going to add, and I'll just give this a name, 0030, that's the name of this video. In our horizontal angle sets, let's go ahead and set this to up to about 3 direct and reverse. And then we can do direct and reverse for every set. And then as far as distances, we can tell it, how many measurements we want to make. We'll just do distances on every face of the instrument, face 1, face 2. And then your tolerances of angle, again, I'll set this to 7 seconds also. So we'll green check mark out and get back out of this altogether, and we'll go under survey and now choose set collection. So here's our occupied and backside point. If that all looks good, just click next, and then this is your configuration, your angle sequence, backside foresight, then foresight to backside. We'll choose the class, and this is, let me scroll down to the very bottom here to number 30. That's the one we just created and edited. I'm going to set the circle at the beginning of each set we're going to auto turn because it is a robot. It will do it automatically. Auto accept measurements. Very limited control from the data collector after that. And I'm going to use the search and aim feature since stationary. So I have the instrument set up. I'm looking at the back side. Up at the very top of the screen, I'm going to just make sure I quick lock on it. And then I'm going to physically just turn the instrument, even though this is a robot. I'm not at the pole on this particular video. And here I'm going to quick lock again to the prism. And then we're going to measure this point precisely the first time. Now, it asks to store this, and we're going to store it. Now, right here is very important. It confuses a lot of people. Notice that it incremented to the next point we want to traverse or topo to. I don't want to do that. I just want to turn the sequence. So it reverted back to point number 1003, and now it's shooting it in phase 2. And if you look here, measured foresight reverse, and now it's measuring to the backside reverse. And from here on out, I've never touched the data collector again. Everything's automatic. Once I told it to turn, it's going to complete the set collection routine automatically. Now we're shooting the foresight reverse. You can see that in the data collector, and you can also notice that the instrument is in phase 2. Now it's measuring foresight D, FSD, that's foresight direct. Set 2 of 3. Now back to the backside direct. And again, it just does this all automatically for you once you get the sequence started. Set 3 of 3, foresight direct. And now foresight reverse. And now back to the backside reversed. And then here is our results, and it's in tolerance. So everything looks great. We're ready to accept. And it goes right back to the backside. So that concludes this tutorial. So thank you for watching, and if you have suggestions for videos in the future, please let me know. Thanks.